Hi, this is Betty with Betty So Fun, and today I'm going to walk you through loading a .dx file or other non-BQM file from your computer or your jump drive into Art and Stitch and then sending it to the Qmatic, and then how you would find the file to import it into the design library if you so choose. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Art and Stitch. I'm going to do File Open. I'm going to find the location where the file is. So mine was in download because I just downloaded it. If you notice on the right hand side, you have three options. One of them is a preview, the second one is convert to outlines, and the third one is open as untitled. When I'm not going to edit the file, I turn off convert to outlines. So I have preview and open as untitled checked. When I click on my file, you will see it has a preview in this little box above those three options, and select open. When I open this file, you're going to get a new tab down on the bottom, and it's going to be called Untitled. And the reason it is untitled, or I save them as untitled, is because I don't want to mess up the original. Once I have my file open within Art and Stitch, I can look at the sequence view, and when I click down on the items, you'll notice it says stitches. So it's just ready to go into into the Qmatic. So from here, all I have to do is touch on the Qmatic icon or click on the Qmatic icon to send to Qmatic. It's going to send this directly, but it's going to ask me to save the file. It's really important to pay attention to this area right here where it says this PC documents my Art and Stitch files. This is where it's going to save the files, and that's where you need to go in order to import them into the Qmatic. So I'm going to call this one ans underscore import underscore temp. When I save this, I only have the option to save it as a .ans file. And that's okay because it'll save it both as a .ans file and a .bqm file. So if I go ahead and click Save, what it's going to do now is drop it right in the center of the Qmatic screen. Regardless of if you have anything else on the screen, if your safe area is set, when a design is coming from Qmatic into coming into Qmatic from Art and Stitch, it always drops it in the center. Now if I wanted to turn this into an edge to edge, I would select it, move it to the top of my quilt, use my edge to edge plus. I always overhang it a little bit, that's a personal preference. And then go into your multiply, add a couple down, and if you want this offset, then what you need to do is go to the spacing and go to the offset. I always click it to the left, you can click it to the right, it's just moving it over, and you're just going to move it somewhere until it's visually appealing to you. And if I wanted to, I can scooch it closer together. And so now I have my repeat. I'm going to slide this down and continue adding my downs until I get to the bottom of my quilt. And I always add one or two more depending on the size of my quilt, just so that I have extras in case something were to happen and I needed to recover from any mistakes. Once I hit confirm, I have my edge to edge. I can position it however I want, use my favorite methods for trimming and unconnecting and stitching it out. When you bring a file over from Art and Stitch, it is not automatically saved into your design pool. In order to do that, you need to import your design. So go to your design library, import design. Sometimes people get confused on where to find their files, so I find it's easiest if you just close up all the open files, and you should end up with 3 of them on here. You have computer, network, perhaps, modern domestic, which is the name of my machine. Yours might have your name or some other value here. And then you have desktop. Click on the one that has your computer name. Then you're going to go to documents, and all designs that you save within Art and Stitch, when you send them directly over to Qmatic using the icon, are saved in this Art and Stitch My Design file. So you need to click on that and make sure it is highlighted blue. When this is highlighted blue, you can see there's a bunch of files in the second column. The one I'm looking for is ans_import_temp.bqm because that's the file that I saved it as. When I do a single left click, you'll see it'll preview the design for me. If I double click, it's going to place the name down here where I know it says importing, but it hasn't started importing yet. Before I click on the import, because this is a pantograph design, I would click the tag pantograph. And I may put it in Betty or My Added Designs if you have created your own designs. Once you've selected your tags, you're going to select import. It's going to think, and then it's going to disappear from here, but you'll still see it in your design preview. Go ahead and close this window. Now you can go to your design pool. I'm just going to click on edge to edge, or I'm just going to search for ANS. And you can see I have ANS import temp, which is my fan. Now I wouldn't call it that for myself. I would call it Baptist Fan Heart or something that made it easy for me to find. But since I'm just doing this for you, it was easier for me to find an ANS at the top of my file list. And then if you double click, it's there and you can use it whenever you want. I hope this helps. Thanks and have a great day.